Hello everyone, welcome to Mindspeak on Herald Global. I am Saimik Sen. Joining us today a very popular actress, Bhagyashree, who just made a comeback to Bollywood. I would like to begin by asking you, how does it feel to be back in the industry after such a long time?
I think it's an absolutely surreal feeling because when I left it, I never thought that I would get back into active acting again. But I think the industry has changed so much, and there's so many different platforms
True.
that it's like a kid in a candy store. I want to do everything. I want to have everything.
The big question in the room, after such a huge success of Maine Pyaar Kiya, where critics just loved you and the audience was waiting for you, actually. So what happened?
Like I tell everyone, मैंने प्यार किया के बाद मैंने प्यार किया. So I got married, I had my children, and for me, my family was my priority. I mean, I was all of 20, and I didn't feel that I could handle a career as well as manage a home, give my relationship, the foundation that is required initially in any relationship, especially when you are, going from one house to another as a daughter, becoming a
True.
daughter-in-law, living in a joint family. There's so many things to adjust and understand about. And if you're not there, present, whole and soul, you can't do it to the fullest of your capabilities. So I wanted to make sure that I give my marriage, my new relationship, the in-laws, the family, give that much time for it to, solidify. And unlike, I think, most of the actresses right now continue working even post their marriage and post their children, I didn't think that was possible. Yeah, I think even the society and the scenario was completely different a couple of years ago. So, when I compare myself right now to all these women who are out there doing the stuff that they want to, and I say kudos to them, being all of 20, I didn't think for me to do something like that.
So now you're here in this industry. Do you think the audience has evolved and has become more accepting towards married heroines working?
Definitely, Saimik. I feel that the society in general has evolved, and women no longer have to be delegated to the home and kitchen only.
True.
So people are evolving, people are more accepting towards women in the society in general. I mean, today when I walk on the set, there's at least 40 to 50% of woman crew on the set, which was never
Correct.
there. I mean, accepting for your actress and their hairdressers, you didn't find another woman on set. But today you have women in practically all departments. So whether it is behind the camera, whether it's as an assistant director or director, whether it's working on, post-production work, we do have women everywhere. Considering that, I think the society in general has evolved, and that's going to translate into films. More stories are being made where characters that would otherwise be delegated only to the male members, you are having police officers, you have lawyers, and you have doctors, all being played by women today. So I think that reflects a lot. I mean, society reflects a lot in our films.
So how does it feel to share the screen space with your husband after such a long time?
Smart Jodi has been fun. I was initially very skeptical about doing something like this. My experience with reality shows hadn't been good earlier. So I was very, very skeptical. But when they came to me with this concept, and they have been true to their concept of, actually reaching out to the audience with our stories so that it encourages them, gives them a different perspective, helps them in their relationships. So there's a lot of issues that come up in this particular Smart Jodi, which we talk about communication, we talk about balancing a husband and wife relationship, we talk about trust, we talk about respect. And it's something that we give out to the society saying, hey, you know what? If there is something missing in your relationship, if you work on it, you can make it right again. You can make it happen. You can solidify your relationship. And I think Smart Jodi has done that. So for us as husband and wife, I'm talking not just about me and my husband, for all us couples on set, we've got a lot of time together to bond, rebond again, create friendships. When you talk about how you got there, I think you reinstate certain beliefs that you feel for one another and the relationship. So I think it's made a lot of difference.
Sure. So your children are in the industry. So what do you tell them? What kind of learning do you pass on to them?
1 minute. Let me tell you this, that the industry has changed. So I am no longer in a position to give them advice. In fact, my children give me advice and I learn a lot from them. I mean, the whole perspective about how cinema is being made right now is completely different from what it was earlier. So our conversations are usually about, how cinema has changed, the OTT platforms, the world cinema that has now come and being accessible to everyone on their telephones. We have the audience also maturing and growing up and understanding that there's not per se a formula film or formula stories, but many different kind of stories being told. So when we have this conversation, I also get to understand how the youngsters think and what they want out of cinema. Like earlier, the dialogues used to be a lot about sermonizing things, long, lambe dialogue hote the. Now it's no longer that. It's like the same thing can be said by an action, by just an emotion in your eyes, by fewer sentences. And maybe the background music creates that ambience for the audience to understand. So you're no longer spoon feeding the audience. You're expecting them to be intelligent enough to grasp what the subject is. That's interesting cinema. That's really interesting cinema. What I could do for my kids is, as a mother, what I keep telling them is make sure that you respect everybody around you. Make sure that you give your work your 100%. Be focused on what you do. So that's the advice I think not just me, but any mother would give their child. From the industry, of course, I've learned, and what we have been seeing for such a long time, that it works a lot on relationships and friendships. There was a certain period of time where the entire corporate structure had come in, and that middle segment of films actually didn't do well because they didn't connect with the heart. I mean, it was all about making, ye actor lo, ye director lo, ye subject lo, kuch bhi bana do, we have to get money out of it. So those money-making projects don't really work. Film is something that has to touch the heart. So if you can reach the audience, that's what matters. So when Abhimanyu and Avantika, they made such bold and different choices, I was a little bit worried because this is something that the audience had not seen before. So for me, I just told them that since you've chosen that path, just give it your all. And fortunately, they have been very, very focused and dedicated towards how they want to portray the character, and they did give it their all. And you can see the result because the audience connected with the character.
Definitely.
So it's not about accepting Abhimanyu or Avantika, they connected with the character. And that's what makes a good actor. When that happens, no one questions your craft. So nothing can be more brilliant than that.
After Thalaiva and Radhesham, what are the future projects? Like, where we can see you again?
Well, there are a couple of things on my table right now, and I'm trying to work them out on how best I can handle the dates and how best we can start working. So I didn't take up anything new, as in I didn't start shooting for anything so far. But yes, as soon as Smart Jodi gets over, because a lot of my time commitment went for this, there will be certain announcements which, well, y'all will see.
After a long time, you have joined the industry. Now, this is the time of OTT. How much it has changed from then till now?
Like I said earlier, because of OTT and because of, world cinema being accepted and seen on our telephones also, you have audience ranging right from the cities to the interiors of our country, all being able to watch world cinema in one platform, which is humongous. So we as actors all have to spruce up our skills. We have to make sure that we present different stories, different character traits, but at the same time, very, very relatable, because that's something that the world is watching. So you have to connect with the character. Of course, theaters do bring larger than life cinema, and we all sometimes like to leave our mundane lives behind and see something spectacular. So yes, there is that kind of cinema, but you can't take the audience for a ride anymore. You can't say, okay, this is one star and you just go to look at his face. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to have a very strong story, a very strong screenplay, dialogues that match, something that touches your heart, connects with you for a film to be successful. Even for people to watch it on OTT, because it becomes so easy to just, change the screen, it's a flip of a button. So if you want people to watch you, there's a lot more hard work required right now.
Being an yoga enthusiast, what is the role of the fitness in your life?
Well, unfortunately, people mix fitness and health together. And I feel they're two different spectrums, because health is when all the body organs work to their optimum level. That means you're healthy. And that has nothing to do with a few kilos up and down, a few inches up and down, because those factors can be influenced by your bone structure, by your bone density, by your ethnic race. It would depend aap kahan se ho, whether you're from north, south, whether you're an Indian, whether you are, from another country. So I think a lot of other factors come into that. Where fitness is concerned, it is optimizing what you can do with that particular part of your body. So it's the muscle requirement, or it is your cardio strength that can help you. So they're two completely different spectrums. Both of them are important, but I think health comes before fitness. Because if you think that you can lift a few dumbbells here and there and you can do X number of squats and you'd be perfectly all right, and that's still the outer part. Maybe your kidneys aren't working right. Maybe there's something wrong with your liver. Maybe you can't digest food well enough. And all those factors could create a hurdle and could pop up. So I keep telling everyone around me that it's very, very important to be healthy. It's not about those inches and it's not about the kilo weight on your weighing scale.
What would you like to tell the aspiring actors and models who wants to come in the industry in today's time?
I think it is just give your 100% and focus on your work. That's the best advice that I could give them. Because like I said, cinema is changing right now and every cinema is so different. You can't compare one genre with the other. You can't compare one actor with the other, because every actor brings something different to the table. And you have to understand and choose where you want to be and what is it that you bring to the table for the audience to want to watch you.
Thank you so much, Bhagyashree. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Bye-bye.